What's going on, guys? It's Ryan. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is actually going to be my final video in my 4-part series detailing filmmaking, and in particular with young people establishing that love of filmmaking from an early age with children. In the first video, I went over a little background on myself and one of my favorite directors, Steven Spielberg. In the second video, I detailed what makes a film really great, the certain ingredients you need to cook up something really special. In the third video, I detailed one of my favorite films of all time, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Feel free to check out any of those videos down below. And for this video, I'm actually going to be covering a very important topic of how to make your own videos. How to get into filmmaking, how to start that process and taking steps in the right direction towards going into Hollywood and getting discovered, all that stuff. Obviously, I have not been discovered, and I don't even know if I want to be a filmmaker, so take all this with a grain of salt. But these are definitely steps that you can take in the right direction towards getting there. So for one, movies are incredibly easy to make now that we have cell phones compared to in the old days. My dad used to want to be a filmmaker and used to use 70mm film and a like an old style camera, and he used to have to edit the film and cut it together, all the Super 8 stuff. And nowadays we just have a camera in our pockets at all times, and we have apps like iMovie. You can post on YouTube. There's different editing software. There's all kinds of things you can do to start getting those creative juices flowing and get into filmmaking, and that's awesome. It's so rare that we have this opportunity to do that, and it's very important to take advantage of those opportunities. If you have ideas for movies, or ideas for different scripts or concepts, write them down, draw them out, do a little storyboard, sketch it, whatever. It's so important to not just sit on those ideas, because a lot of times, people will have ideas or thoughts, and they'll just, they'll think about it and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool, but they instantly, almost as quick as it comes, it goes, because they never put it into action. The difference between people who have those thoughts and people who make movies, besides, getting funding and being discovered and putting in all the hard work, the first step and the first difference is that those people who are making movies took that step. They made that choice. They picked up the camera, they wrote that script, they came up with this concept, and it didn't just stay in here and then, gone. They put it into action and they put it down. And that's one of the most important things, just to stress, is that you just gotta do it. Just pick up the camera, grab your phone, go outside, get your friends together, and, just pretend to shoot each other, play cops and robbers, whatever you want to do. It's so important to just do things. In particular, in the filmmaking business, having work to show off, and having work to be proud of. Every film you make, for starters, the first one is going to suck, and the second one is probably going to suck too, and 3 and 4, and it's just going to keep sucking, but it will get better at a certain point. Because every time you make a film, you learn certain things. Every time you do a shot a certain way, and then you review it, you're like, oh man, I wish I could do that differently. The next time that you go and make a movie, you will do that differently. It's just a natural evolution of practice makes perfect, not to quote that term, but it's true. And in this case in particular. But most importantly, besides using your resources, the editing software, your phone, and using YouTube as a platform to distribute your content, the most important thing, and my final point, is to stay original to yourself. Obviously we have inspirations. You might watch the newest Avengers movie and be like, oh, I really wish I could make an Avengers movie, that would be so cool, and have a scene in your movie that's kind of similar to that, and that's fine. But you don't want to make a movie that's basically a clone of something else, because one, it's going to be painfully obvious, and two, it's not original to you. You're not going to have the same heart, the same passion. You should be doing what you want to be doing. You don't want to be imitating what someone else is doing, and that's the most important part. Especially, if you get past, if you kind of just coast on doing other people's things, and you actually get into the film industry by some miracle, you are going to be crucified and, you know, basically criticized in the sense that people are going to call you on the fact that you're not original. So it's important to stay original. It's important because, you know, obviously you want to avoid those critiques and that controversy, but also, you know, people can tell. It's a certain feeling in your work when you believe in it, you know, you're 100% behind it, you love what you're doing. The audience, whether or not they can put their finger on it or articulate that they're feeling that way, does feel that. And that's incredibly important. So anyways, that's going to wrap up my series. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Really means a lot, and I will talk to you guys soon.